Just for fun. It's a funny angle on the ceiling fan. And when Rachel found that she bore Jacob no children, she became jealous of her sister and said to Jacob, "Give me sons, or I shall die." She's Rachel's just said that, even though Leah can't, bear any more children, but she's bared quite a few. She bore quite a few. Anyway, continue. Verse 2, this is chapter 30. Jacob said angrily to Rachel, "Can I take the place of God, who has denied you children?" She said, I'll just say that again because there's a question mark at the end of the sentence. "Can I take the place of God, who has denied you children?" She said, "Here is my slave girl Bilhah. Lie with her, so that she may bear sons to be laid upon my knees, and through her I too may build up a family." So she's committing the same sin as Abraham did with with their slave girl, because they'd given up. But yeah, they haven't got the excuse that Abraham and Sarah did, because they were in old age. So you could forgive them and say, you know, it's not so much a sin, or it's a very forgivable sin. So maybe not even a sin, but something that you know, out of care for people, you accept. But they're young, so really they should pray and ask God first before they do such a thing. So it would be a sin if they did it, because they haven't given God the time yet, or the enough prayer about it. So repeat again, verse 2.5. Lie with her so that she may bear sons to be laid upon my knees, and through her I too may build up a family. So she's feeling like she wants her own children, and I think the whole emotional situation of her father being dishonest and Jacob being selfish means they're making stupid decisions, and so is Rachel now, in the story in the Bible, in Genesis. So she gave him her slave girl Bilhah as a wife, and Jacob lay with her. So Jacob's conceded to doing sin as well. Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son. Then Rachel said, "God has given judgment for me. He has indeed heard me and given me a son." So she named him Dan, and Dan means he has given judgment. So it wasn't a good judgment, and it wasn't that God had given him judgment. And yeah, I must say that I'm sad that that's what the name Dan means, because that's my name. But I think the name Dan here and the name Daniel, many names are repeated in the Bible, so there's lots of people with the same name. Even the people who were named Jesus, who weren't the Messiah from God, because Jesus' name means He saves. So there's a Daniel later on in the Bible, which also means God has judged, but it means God has judged, whereas here God hasn't judged. It's just Rachel who's believing it, but it is not true in this case. God has not judged. Rachel's just imagined it. So it's the devil that's judged, really. This, like the snake in the Garden of Eden. Instead of thinking of the beautiful Garden of Eden, and how everything is provided in a beautiful world, she's being persuaded by her own thoughts, like the snake thought. So anyway, we'll continue. Verse 7. Rachel's slave girl Bilhah again conceived and bore Jacob another son. Rachel said, "I have played a fine trick on my sister. and it has succeeded. So she named him Naphtali. And the footnote is that it's trickery. Naphtali means trickery. Trickery. It does sound like trickery, doesn't it? Same sounding word, Naphtali. When Leah found that she was bearing no more children, she took her slave girl Zilpah and gave her to Jacob as a wife. As well, I just adding as well, so it's another shocking trickery. As I said before, and I guessed right. Well, I remembered right that once they start sinning, it's really like it's like you're traveling in a car or on a road. Unless you turn back and go on a different road, you keep going doing the same thing, whether it's bad in this case or good. So we must always make sure we do good. And that is a theme that Jesus repeats. You can't serve both the devil and God. You either serve the devil or God, or really God's request of you, which is to do good. And Zilpah bore Jacob a son. Leah said, "Good fortune." Well, let's just quickly say, doing good means basically living a caring life, because God in the Garden of Eden was always caring towards Adam and Eve. Okay. Leah said, "Good fortune has come," and she named him Gad. And Gad in the footnote means that is good fortune. Good fortune. Gad means good fortune. Zilpah, Leah's slave girl, bore Jacob another son, and Leah said, "Happiness has come, for young women will call me happy." So she named him Asher. But I think that's a sarcastic Asher. Must mean happy in the note. Footnote D. Yeah, happy. But I think that's a sarcastic. I'm sure it does mean happy in their language. Is it the Moabite language? Yeah, Asher is the Moabite language meaning happy. But I don't think she was really happy. I think it's a sarcastic. I don't know a better word. There is a better word than sarcastic, but it's that emotion of sarcasm that will be deeper than the happiness. But they have to forgive and give those children to the Lord, and that is really what God enabled through his hero Jesus, the Messiah. It's the serious word for hero from their old language, back in the time of Jesus, in the times of Canaan, later after this. In the time of the wheat harvest, Reuben went out and found. Anyway, we'll stop there. Reuben is one of their sons, and I'll introduce that and say who Reuben is more. Remind us in the next time. So the story goes on, and enjoy. Have a break, or go straight to the next video if you like. Bye for now. See you later.